In this video, we are going to learn OET writing step by step. Before that, let's take a quick overlook with this writing subtest. OET writing is a profession-based task. You will have to write a letter to a nurse, doctor or other health professional. You will usually write referral letters. You will get 45 minutes to complete the task. The first 5 minutes are given for you to read the questions. During this time, you are not supposed to make notes or even touch your pencil. Next 40 minutes will be given for you to write the letter. Though the most commonly asked letter type is referral, you might also have to write a letter of discharge or transfer letter. First is analyzing case notes. This stage is basically applicable in the first 5 minutes, which is known as the reading time. You will only be able to make mental notes during this time. This is basically how you read your case notes and writing task. First thing you need to see is the bottom part of your case notes. Writing task. What all you need to understand out of it? You need to see the reader's name, designation, address, what type of letter it is, and the purpose of the letter. These are the major things which you need to analyze in these 5 minutes. Then you can have a look on all the case notes. Second step is interpreting case notes correctly. After reading the writing task, now you know to whom you are writing and why you are writing. So we should begin reading the case notes, paying special attention to case notes that are pertinent to the task. You will always see that case notes are never written in perfect sentences and are somewhat challenging to understand. So you need to interpret them. It is actually little difficult to interpret the case notes correctly because misinterpretations will result in incorrect information being placed in your letter. Sometimes you will see that case notes are written in short, ungrammatical phrases, or they will use an abbreviation. Sometimes some symbols or markers are also used. So you need to interpret them correctly, and accordingly you need to frame all of those things into a complete grammatically correct sentence. So this steps helps you to interpret the case notes correctly. Third step is selecting case notes. After you have read and correctly interpreted the case notes, you will then need to think more carefully about case note relevance. You need to remember that your letter should be only in between 180 and 200 words. So you cannot include all of the case notes which is given. You need to make sure you are writing a relevant letter, and that largely depends upon the writing task. Make sure you understand the writing task fully and you know who you are writing to and why. Write the letter for and only for the recipient, keeping his or her needs in mind at all times. You can put yourself in his shoes. Suppose you are writing it to the physiotherapist. Think that if you would have been the physiotherapist, then what all information is necessary for you to know about the patient. Selecting case notes is challenging because some case notes will clearly be relevant and irrelevant, others will be semi-relevant. You have to make decisions about which case notes to include and which case notes to ignore. How you can improve this? This you will learn with practice and reading various sample letters or analyzing or reading various case notes. Fourth step is transforming case notes accurately. You need to transform case notes into grammatically accurate sentences so that the meaning is clear to the reader and reflects the intended meaning of the case note. You should also make sure that you include a range of different sentence types, some short, complex, some active, some passive. But remember that the aim is not to include various sentence types, but to communicate information as clearly as you possibly can. That will require you to use various sentence types and grammar. You need to transform these notes into proper sentences. If your grammar is incomprehensible, then it will definitely affect your marks. So, grammatically, your sentences should be correct. The fifth step is organizing case notes. It covers how you order your letter and helps assessors decide whether your structure makes it easier or harder for the reader to understand. Once you have decided the information to include and not include from the case notes, you now need to decide in what order you will present the information. As each writing task and its case notes are different, the writing situation you are describing and the requests you are making are not the same. As a result, each letter will be structured slightly differently. Think about your letter. Is the patient story? We often tell the patient story when handing over a patient to a colleague at a shift change or over the phone when referring the patient to a specialist. We adjust the order of the information in the story depending on who we are telling it to. We do this because we want to grab their attention and keep them engaged while we present the rest of the information. This is what you need to do with your letter. Put yourself in the reader's shoes. If you receive this letter, which information would you want first, second, and so on? So this is how you need to understand organizing case notes. Sixth and last step is layout of the letter. It is very much important that how you structure your letter, either you are following the correct layout of the letter or not. So here is a sample that how you are supposed to structure your letter. We start with the date, one line space, then address, again one line space, then salutation, again one line space, patient details, date of birth and age. Then we start with the introductory paragraph, first body para, second body para, third body para and the closing paragraph. Always remember, there should be one line space in each and every paragraph. At last, we just sign off our letter with yours faithfully or sincerely. Then you write your profession. Please follow the correct layout of the letter to score better. If you make mistakes in the organization or format of the letter, layout of the letter, it leads to negative marking or you lose your marks. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.